Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is really shiny. We need to fix this. I'll hold it like that. If you guys don't know, The Song of Achilles is about Achilles, and Patroclus is how the narrator said it. I listened to this on audiobook. And it follows their relationship together as they grow up and then eventually when they go to war against the Trojans. If you guys don't know, Achilles is the daughter, no, not the daughter, the son of a sea nymph and a mortal human. There was a prophecy about the sea nymph that her child would be greater than their father, and so the gods forced her to be with a mortal so that her son would not be greater than the other gods. And so because of this forced, basically like rape situation, the sea nymph now hates humans pretty much and only likes her son. He is greater than all the other humans. Patroclus is the son of a king but is exiled, so he doesn't really have any status. He's always been a bit of a weird one, and he has not been accepted into any type of friend group ever, so they're both a little bit of outsiders. Achilles because he's so great and amazing at everything, and Patroclus because he's weird and people don't like him. But the two eventually find each other and they become fast friends and then lovers and then soulmates kind of thing. As usual with my book reviews, I'm going to go through my pros, go through my cons, give you my rating, and be done. My first pro for this book was that the writing style was just so straightforward, so simple, but also beautiful. I thought Madeline Miller had a really good way with words, and I really could picture everything that was happening. I could really feel how it was to live back then, because she actually has done probably a lot of research, because she got a lot of things right. There were relationships between two men in ancient Greece. They weren't in a positive light, but they didn't not exist. They were there, and they happened. But Achilles was so great that people needed things from him anyway, so they treated him better than if he was just a regular guy that was having a relationship with another guy. Speaking of that relationship, I think that the relationship between Patroclus, whatever, and Achilles was really, really believable. It started off very organically and then grew as the novel went along. It started off as them being strangers and then kind of getting to know each other and then getting to know each other really well and then developing feelings for each other. So I really liked seeing the relationship unfold throughout this story. A pro for me that was unexpected was that I really liked the character of Achilles' mother. She was a lot different than I thought she was going to be in this story. In myths, Thetis is Achilles' mom. That's the sea nymph. She is more portrayed as just loving Achilles a lot, but in this one you really got to see what probably would have happened. She was forced to be with this mortal man and he basically raped her to have Achilles, and so she hates Peleus, and so she's very angry all the time, and I really liked that interpretation of her, and it was just accurate because the gods in ancient Greek myth are not humans. Her not caring about human life was like so accurate because gods don't care about human life, at least ancient Greek gods. I feel like the only one that does is probably Prometheus because he gave fire to humans. But yeah, so I really liked her character a lot. It made so much sense that she would be so angry and hate so many people and be mean to Patroclus. I just really liked her character and I loved whenever she was in a scene. This book is written in the point of view of Patroclus, and I thought that that was a really cool take on it. I didn't know how it was going to be handled, but it does it really well, and I really liked seeing Patroclus's view on the happenings that were going on. His filter on what was happening in Achilles' life was very interesting and compelling, and I just wanted to keep reading and keep reading, and I think I listened to the audiobook all in like one day or something. As I said before, I knew this story already because I was a classical studies major, and Odyssey and the Iliad are things that you have to read if you're a classical studies major. So I already knew the story of Achilles and Patroclus and what happens in the relationship and all of that, but it didn't detract from my enjoyment of this novel. I thought that it might, and that's why I was hesitant going into this novel, but I loved it. It was so entertaining and so engrossing, so I definitely recommend it to people that are already familiar with the Achilles story. You're still gonna enjoy this book. I also liked this take on the mythology aspect of this story. Yes, there are gods involved, as I've talked about before. Thetis is Achilles' mother and she's a sea goddess. And the magic is there, but it's not overwhelming. You're not gonna be overwhelmed by the number of gods or anything. The author definitely cut out a lot of the gods' roles in the Trojan War. You see a couple, but you don't see nearly as many that were actually involved. And so I think that people that don't necessarily like fantasy will still like this book because the fantasy elements are very minimal, but they're still there, so they're gonna have a little bit for people that love fantasy as well. Like there are the gods, there are prophecies, and Achilles is a Greek hero, so he has extra strength and power and everything like that. So he is half god. So I loved it. I love the amount of magic she decided to include, basically. But don't go into this thinking that it's going to be like swashbuckling, action-packed all the time. This is a very quiet story, but it's very powerful anyway. I just love that this novel focused in on love and duty, respect and humanity, but then also explored the more negative sides of humanity, like stubbornness, hubris, and the need to leave a legacy. Overall, I just thought this novel was fantastic. So good. So amazing. I was trying to think of some cons for this book, but I honestly could not think of one thing about this book that I really didn't like. I gave this book 5 stars. I definitely recommend it for people that like mythology, Greek history, or just amazing stories in general. And yeah, I really do hope that you guys check this one out. So that's gonna be my review of The Song of Achilles by Madeline, I'm sure, Miller. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you've read this book. If you haven't, are you interested in reading it now? If you have any other Achilles retelling stories that you would recommend, leave those down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.